What's good, everybody? It's your gearhead, Mr. Logic himself, man. We want to thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Thank you for being patient. Make sure if this is your first time checking in that you hit that subscribe button. You know what we're about, yo. Allow me to introduce my lovely co-host.
It's me, Nate. How are you guys doing?
And we got Sir Zaniel on the motherfucking.
Yo, it's your boy. Obey.
And we got Lewis on the one and O's, man. And this is one thing for sure, two things for certain,
Two things
yo.
for certain, baby.
All right. Okay. You trying to sound like me now, dog?
I love how Ben just lagged a little bit.
Right? You kind of delayed. So let's go. Let's talk about you, Nate. How's your day going so far, love?
It's been pretty good. You gotta mute yourself though.
Thank you for checking me.
Anyways, my day has been pretty good. So I have been in a roller coaster of emotions with school. As you all may know, I occasionally talk about it and how I want to pull my hairs out, but you know what? It's okay. I had a meeting with my advisor. I should be graduating by the end of this year. So,
Woo! All right. All right.
So, you know what? Fingers crossed. And this is if I pass all my classes because I cannot afford to fail a class because then I'd be passing my threshold, yada, yada, yada. But what I'm really mentally preparing for are my vacations. Period.
Okay. Where are you going?
So I'm planning on going on a cruise in May, and then in August I want to go to Mexico and visit my family.
It's gonna be May.
But those are like the two trips.
Ben, okay, you looking kind of like you kind of look like a America Most Wanted poster child right now. Ain't going front, boy. What's going on with the refugee look? How's your day going so far?
Oh my god.
Pretty chill. I went to the dentist and I got a teeth cleaning, and my fucking mouth hurts. This shit sucks.
Wah, wah, wah.
But who fucking cares, right? You gotta do what you gotta do to stay beautiful, am I right? Right? You know what I'm saying? For me, first in regards to school, I recently had to drop one of my courses because
why?
Yeah, I dropped it and I got a WR for it, so that means I still have to pay for it. I dropped it because I realized I wasn't giving it as much attention as I should have, and I didn't want to affect my GPA and get a bad grade. So
Dude,
I was like,
I feel you.
I'm gonna take the L and just fucking drop it. Right now I only have one course, and if I fail that course, that means no more school ever. But,
dude, I feel you.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So I'm doing pretty good. I think I'm gonna take the summer off and hop back in the fall, save up some money because your boy is going to be moving out of his parents' place.
What? Out of your roommate's place.
Congrats, my G. Congrats.
Yeah, I already know what it is. Thank you.
Make sure you get a whole bunch of Jimmy hats.
So, a whole bunch of what?
What? No.
Hey, DeJour. What to do?
What up, DeJour? What's going on, homie?
Yo, what's good, DeJour? DeJourno. Check out my boy DeJour on Twitch.
Parmesan is actually Italian.
Sorry,
I know how to speak Italian. Parmesan.
But yeah, at times you're gonna see that I'm not looking directly at the camera because I am at work. I work from home. So I will be in between actually doing my job and making conversation.
We love multitasking.
That means he's a hustler, baby. That means he's a hustler. Yeah. You see here on the show, we
gotta get it how we live. You know what I'm saying?
We grind, yo. We grind. We like single mothers. Yeah, that's how hard we work. But single mothers from like the 80s and 90s, not these modern.
Hold on, which side do I look to make it look like I'm looking at you guys? Do I look to the left? Which side is logic? To the left?
No, it's
like that.
Look the other way. Look the other way. You're looking at me. You're looking at Jason now.
Okay. Single mothers.
Wait, should we?
Yes.
Oh my god. Okay. So you guys, speaking of which, we don't want Ben to be hustling like the way that he is. He should be focusing on one thing at a time. So we have made the collective decision to change the date that we go live for our podcast. We have been going live Thursdays, roughly on average about 8:30-ish. But obviously, because of scheduling and we want to accommodate everybody, we have changed it to Fridays at 6:30 p.m. So starting next week, we are going to be going live on Friday at 6:30 p.m. We will no longer be going live on Thursdays.
Yep. Now, why are you chewing like an alpaca?
Yeah,
Can't hear
Chad,
you.
Fridays. Woo!
Can't hear
You can hear me?
Yeah, now we can.
Okay.
What's up, Cuzzo? What's
Yeah.
going on, Chad?
Yeah, I muted my mic because I didn't want the sound of my
Thank
chewing
you
to be
for being so considerate.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know.
man, you got some
Of
pearly
course.
whites, boy.
But yes, Chad, Fridays, we do
You know what it
understand that
is.
6:30 could be a little peak
You know what it is.
rush hour time. Maybe you're coming home from work. So we are going to try to dedicate the podcast to a more listening experience more than a visual one. Because I know I'm a very what's it called when like you speak with your hands and stuff?
Oh,
Tactile.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess, some of us,
Like
especially
an
me,
Italian, you
you
gotta have the
Italiano,
yeah, you
I'm
gotta
so
have
sorry. But yeah, I'm guilty of doing that. So we're going to try to make it more of a listening experience. So when you guys are listening in instead of watching, it's still fun and funny. So we're
Meaning
going to
we're-
accommodate you guys
talking
too.
yeah, we're
talking
catering
with
to
your
y'all.
hands is a sign of autism. One of the tellings for
Why do
autism.
you gotta do that?
Are you saying I have autism?
Why you gotta do that?
Yeah, I am saying you have autism.
Disclaimer, he's being satire.
Yeah, satire.
All right.
Stop, we don't want to offend anyone.
Ben is a troll.
No.
A real
no.
life breathing troll.
That's not satire. Look it up. Look it up.
Oh,
like one of the tells for autism is expressing yourself with your hands, right? There are other things, right?
Right.
Just be like, okay, let's speak scientific now. Autism is a spectrum, right? You
Yes.
don't win the autism by being more autistic. It's a spectrum. Everybody is somewhere on the spectrum. It manifests itself in different ways, like being nonverbal, or like I said, talking with your hands,
Mhm.
or having social anxiety, things of that nature, right? There are varying degrees of it, but everybody,
Right.
or at least a majority of people, are on the spectrum somewhere, right? I'm
Okay.
saying that talking with your hands is one of them, and I'm sitting here like
Chad says
I understand.
emotional quotient. Okay.
Thank you
okay.
for,
Speaking
clearing
with
it
your
up.
hands is also a sign of high EQ. Yeah.
Telling me smart?
You think you're smarter than me?
Yes.
You really think you're smarter than me?
No, I don't,
Does it
Jason.
look
I'm joking.
convincing?
Ben, you think
Does
you're
it look
smarter than me?
convincing when I turn my hand when I turn my head left and right to make
You
it
look like
I'm
you're doing a
looking at you guys?
montage.
I like the way you looked when you talked to Jason. That was really funny.
Yeah.
Are you
a
voguing right now?
montage. Huh?
Yeah, Vogan.
But
Ben's one sexy he
that
bitch.
song
I gotta give him that.
that song by Lady Gaga is really good. No, I'm using the touch-up filter on Zoom.
Oh, okay.
What was I saying? I think intelligence exists also on a spectrum. Because right, it's one thing to know a lot of stuff. It's another thing to know where to get stuff, right? I think it was Albert Einstein himself that said it is his intelligence that allows him to know where to find the answers rather than knowing everything.
I know Albert
that's-
Einstein
yeah,
said,
that's
you know what
true.
insanity is, according to Albert Einstein?
Doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results.
Yep.
Yeah.
How many times do we do that?
Occasionally.
I mean, everyone's technically insane because you wake up, right?
Yeah.
Do the same thing over and over, and you expect a different
Yeah.
result each day.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was a real eye
Plenty
opener.
of people say, same soup, different fork.
Same
What-
shit,
what is
different
it?
toilet is what I say.
Yeah, there you go.
It's a little more vulgar, I know, but it's all good and gravy.
Wow.
All right. So as we get into the topics, Nate's gonna break us off into Reddit. Am I the asshole?
Woo!
Go ahead, love. Tell us what this one's about.
All right, you guys. So the title for this one is Am I the asshole for telling my fiance that my friend's trauma is more important than her comfort?
Oh.
Buckle down, you're in for a doozy. Okay, so my best friend lost a parent a year and a half ago, which led him to a mental health crisis. Our friend group has been picking up the pieces ever since. He's doing much better now that he's in therapy, but he's definitely gone through it. What has complicated matters worse is my fiance. It goes without saying that I love her, but she is the definition of a busybody sometimes. My best friend is a very private person. She knows something happened with him, but she doesn't know the details of what that something is. She probably never will. But because she's around me and my friends often as my fiance and I live in the same house, she hears bits and pieces of the story and presses for more information. I try to sorry. I got lost in a word. I try to circumvent this as best as I can. For example, I step out of the room for specific phone conversations, but still, it's hard to limit the discussion about it sometimes. If it's necessary, we bring it up and she's around in person. We'll refer to the Nolan situation without giving specifics. Nolan will also stop by my place at night when he can't sleep. This doesn't happen at all that often, but maybe twice a month. He'll text me or call me saying he's outside. I'll go sit with him and maybe smoke a little bit, then he'll head home. I'll wait up until I know he got home safely. Then I go back to sleep. My fiance hates this. She claims the phone calls always wake her up. They don't. She just sometimes happens to wake up for the bathroom while I'm outside, and that me not being in bed is alarming. This brings us to last night. Lonan stopped by, and when I came back inside, my fiance said she was putting a stop to it. She said all the sneaking around is making her paranoid. She doesn't feel like she can properly trust me or be a part of my friend group without knowing all the details, and that Nolan needs to stop relying on me so much. I told her that no matter whether we're married, dating, whatever, she was never going to be able to order me around in regards to it. I also said her comfort was less important than someone's actual physical well-being. She was obviously hurt by this and went to stay with her mom after work today. Am I the asshole? And then there was an edit. She knows Nolan lost a parent. She doesn't know the aftermath beyond the statement. He had a mental health crisis. Yes, he has specifically asked me not to tell her. Edit number 2. This is not something we'll talk about constantly in front of her. I'm giving examples that have happened over the past year and a half. Also, Nolan sees a therapist. He comes to my place to hang out.
Okay. Yeah, that's
I think it's one thing to want your partner's full attention, right? But if you know that the reason why they can't give it, right, it's not like he's neglecting her, right? It's not like he's neglecting her. So I don't believe that he's the asshole. He's actively looking out for one of his friends' mental health, and I think that's a good thing, right? You should be happy that your husband cares enough, or your partner or whatever cares enough about a person, that they're willing to put themselves in uncomfortable situations in order to look out for them, right? Because again, he's not going out of his way to do anything. He's not like telling her that, like, oh, he can't hang out with her this night because he has to go look out for his friend, or he's not saying that he's not canceling plans or anything of that nature, right? Yeah. He's not compromising any of the securities in a relationship. He just wants to show that his friend that he has someone for him because some fucked up shit happened to him. So I don't think that's very right of the fiance to necessarily say that she doesn't want what does she not want him doing? What is she not comfortable with, right? Does she just want him to fucking, right? Like, does she want him to just ignore him completely? Like, where is it? Where is the line? Because he even says before, like, there's like he only does it like maybe twice a month, right? And she's saying that the phone calls wake her up, bro, at most twice a month. Right? Okay, so like, what is he actually doing that's selfish? Well, so I don't think he's the asshole.
I disagree. Dater says, with that being said, she doesn't know everything. Also, she can't know everything, as the best friend doesn't want that. So what has to understand is my boy needs me. Okay.
And also putting a stop to it. Okay. Like, that was, I guess, a little bit too far on her part. What do you think, Jay?
It's a delicate situation because there's a lack of information that's not being said, right? Right. We know that he lost a parent and he needs support, but also, in order for a relationship to thrive, there's a point of it that has to be selfish. And you have to really excommunicate certain elements outside of your relationship in order for your relationship to stay healthy. I'm not saying that this individual needs to cut homeboy off, but at the same time, there's a saying, if it wasn't for the messenger, the war would be lost. So as long as Buddy's not giving out that information, she's kept in the dark. And when you're kept in the dark, guess what? Your emotions sometimes get the best of you. I'm not condoning her behavior or her reasoning. But I'm not condoning it. I understand it. Because if I'm in a relationship and yeah, my boy lost his parents, I understand my boy needs me from time to time, but also I got to take care of what I got. I got to manage what I got. I'm not saying that I got to close buddy out. I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is it isn't being, if it's being an irritant to my relationship, I need to make adjustments and try to identify, know why, and try to find a solution. And it seems but it seems like from what he's basically saying, he's keeping his fiance in the dark.
Yeah.
And really, that's one of the issues right there, because if you're keeping her in the dark, all she's going to basically be able to do is to assume, because she's basically making up the rest of the information in her head because she's not being told everything. She knows there's an issue. She knows there's trauma, but you're not communicating with her.
Right.
And that's a problem in the relationship too, because
but I think it's enough for her to say, for the partner to say, hey, look, I can't tell you everything. He doesn't feel comfortable with you knowing that information.
Yeah.
So I need you to know. Yeah, I need you to know that this isn't something that I can just share freely. This is so important that I can't share it freely. And I need you to understand that.
That's respectful, though.
I don't believe that that's what?
That's respectable, but at the same time, there's a disconnection there, though. If you think about it, there's a major disconnection. The disconnect being that she basically, he's saying that I can't put my friend's business out there like that, but it's an irritant because it's basically gotten to a point where the disconnect is the relationship you have with your girl. And for you to say that no matter what, this is what it's going to be, whether you're married or not, that's like, why am I either going to continue trying to build with this person if their mind's already made up? Because God, what happens if something else traumatic happens? See, in a relationship, and I think this is where we're going to break it into a bigger cycle now. If your friend is a genuine person, he's going to understand that. Yes, we all go through trauma, but you got to respect your people's relationships as well and play your position. And I'm not saying, again, we don't have the information. We're only going based off on what is on Reddit. So we have to dissect that carefully.
From what was described, my understanding is that he's not overstepping boundaries, right? But
I'm not talking about him though.
No. Oh, no, but this is what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. Like, so you said that, like, okay, were you speaking on terms of the girlfriend saying, why is she continuing to build with her fiance if he's not going to let me in on this stuff? Is that your stance?
No, what I'm saying is, why would somebody in general want to basically build with somebody who's not basically handling the situation? Let's be 100, whether it's male versus female, right? Either or.
Oh, sorry, guys. Like, I'm getting a phone call.
It's okay.
Okay, just mute up. What I would say to that is, okay, we understand the situation. There's trauma, right? But at the same time, you're trying to build with this person. You can't blame the friend. The friend went through the trauma, but who you got to hold accountable is the boyfriend because of how he's handling the situation. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Because it's very easy. It's like, oh, I don't like your friends. Okay, how many times do we hear that all the time? But the truth of the matter is, it's not the friends that you don't like. You don't like the way that your man or your girl is behaving with those friends. So that you need to put your focus point on the actual person. And that person is the boyfriend. Because the boyfriend's saying, yeah, he went through some shit. I can't tell you what he went through because that's personal information. But you're allowing it to be an irritant. And she's not saying, yo, it's all on me or nothing. She's trying to understand, and you're leaving her in the dark. So to me, I'm looking at him as a man like, yo, you're mismanaging this. You're handling it poorly because you're allowing it to affect your relationship. And it seems like you're not even willing to fight for your relationship because your mind is made up. So that's why I say he's an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? Because it's like, yo, granted, that's not his friend's fault. We all know that, you know, our friends go through things. But can you imagine what would happen if you and your relationship were put in your friends in a regard like that, where your man's trying to understand what's going on, but you kept them in the dark? How long can he honestly last? You know, where does your mind go? It's like, damn, you know, I'm with this person in a relationship. What, you don't trust me with this information? You as a friend, the way I look at it, if that was me in the situation, I'm going to talk to my friend like, yo, can I let my girl know what's going on? Because this is what's going on. May I have your permission? Make those efforts. Make those moves to bring clear understanding. That's not on the friend. That's not on the girl. That's on the boyfriend. And he's not taking initiative of that. And that's why I say he's a fucking asshole.
Right. I definitely understand where you're coming from, and what you're saying is true. Something that Dejor also mentioned on the comments is, he said, I mean, I'd also try to tell my boy that my woman needs to know something at least enough to calm her worrying thoughts.
Facts.
Yeah, you guys are right. Just rereading this like section of the paragraph where it says, "My best friend is a very private person. She knows something happened to him. But she doesn't know the details. She probably never will. But because she's around me and my friends often, we live in the same house. She hears bits and pieces of information. So just speculating based on the information that we have on the Reddit, it's safe to say, okay, the best friend who lost a parent is a very private person. It definitely does put the boyfriend in a very uncomfortable position because it's like you definitely want to respect your friend's like private life. I mean, you know more than anyone, Jason, that you like to live your life privately and you don't want your business put out there. And I can see why he's like, accommodating his friend to like not put his business out there. But then it's also putting him in an uncomfortable position with his fiance because after a year and a half, and it's like just every now and then maybe she gets a little bothered,
which is normal.
which is definitely normal. Sure, her feelings are very valid. This is just like a very difficult situation that they've been put through, and it's like, maybe this is just one of those cases where they have a very like tight knit friend group, and as he's seeing therapy, they're all his friend group, not just him, but it's also all of his friends putting in the support, being his support system. So I just think this is a very difficult situation, but I definitely understand like her feelings because I can only imagine how hard it is to be in the dark. Like, at least me personally, like, I would just be worried in general. Like, okay, yeah, obviously this isn't my friend, this is my fiance's friend, but because this is such an important person to my fiance, I worry by default. Like, I'm a caring person. I would want to try to help out, but obviously, these people are different. They probably work differently. Um Chad goes speculating word of the day. Did you not know what speculating meant, Chad? I guess.
Oh, she calling you out, cuzzo.
No,
she calling you out, cuzzo.
I'm not calling you out like that.
No, but yeah, it goes back to, again, this is just the information that we're given,
right?
But and another thing to add, it's a group effort. This is not isolated. And a lot of times, one of the things that threatens a relationship is the group of friends. Because if you don't feel that there's a genuine connection with his friends or her friends, it's going to make you feel standoffish. You get what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, your partner's group of friends, like let's say you're not too involved. I mean, that would make anyone feel some type of way. Like, by default, you kind of just want to be a part of the group because that's your fiance. You want to spend the rest of your life with them, so you want to make sure you're friends with your friends' friends. And I mean, this is just me just generally assuming most relationships kind of like work the same way, but
it has to be genuine.
To me, honestly, I don't think he's an asshole because his values, he's weighing out the pros and cons. But then it's also very difficult because he basically like holds his values as, I don't care that you're in a discomfort because my friend is going through such a traumatic experience. It's more important than your comfort.
But that's where I say he's an asshole.
And I understand that because it's like, I too would make, like if it comes to my values and what I believe in, I will stand up for it and I will give a reasonable explanation. But I also love my partner and I don't want to do anything to disrespect them. So I would also try my best to make sure that they're feeling, accommodated and they feel loved and understood. To me, it's a very...
But you just got to be rational.
You got to be rational.
That's really what it comes down to. Ben, are you available or are you still on the 1 and O's over there? I think he's on the 1 and O's. We'll get back to that.
Yeah.
But no, man, now that we get into that topic, let me ask you something, love, on a serious note, right? There's one of these things that I see where it shows a text message and it's a girl saying, I'm home alone. And then the homeboy text is right behind it like, yo, I'm really going through some shit. Spin it around.
Okay.
Say that you've really been into this guy and you've been trying to, get it in for months. Let's be realistic. It's been months and you've been doing the chemistry. the opportunity presents itself.
Okay, yeah.
And then you have your homegirl who's like, yo, I'm going through some shit right now. That fork in the road. Are you gonna go fuck with the dude? Or are you gonna be there for your homegirl? Realistically speaking.
No.
Now, mind you, to don't say it up real quick.
Oh, okay.
If you don't go with this dude, it's lost. If you don't go for your homegirl, it will never be forgotten. Forgiven, but not forgotten. What's your choice going to be, love?
You can't play God.
I didn't say anything about playing God.
Oh, but basically,
we just made it realistic.
I'm just saying, you never know life because okay, I would choose like the best friend going through it.
Okay.
You know, I would so me personally, because you know, like before I started dating my man, you know, a few months before we were friends for a while, you know, obviously before started dating. So we were like hang out in groups and I obviously, you know, put in some effort to show interest, you know, didn't like rush things right away, but I wanted to like plant the seeds.
De Jure says, but whatever you pick, the worst possible outcome happens. Well, that's why it makes it hard.
Whatever. Anyways, so like if at least if this happened to me, you know, because we had that foundation of us being friends, I can definitely be honest with him and be like, hey, listen, you know, I definitely want to hang out, this and that, or like I appreciate our time, whatever. But my best friend's going through something right now, and I'm gonna be MIA for the next couple of days. So if I don't text you, you know, it's because I'm giving her all of my attention, and that's it. I would leave it at that, you know, go MIA, help out my best friend because, you know,
Chad
she's
says,
important to me.
I always say pick the homie. The hookup has to have patience. Agreed.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
But you want to know what the reality is of it all, man? And it's a real shitty situation. This is where it's like, yo, you ever heard that saying, the one you love most is the one you treat the worst from time to time? Because you know they're gonna take it. And I think the same thing applies, yo. Like, because a lot of people will say, "Oh no, of course, I'll go chill with my homie," but in reality, they would go chill with the girl because it's more of a bigger opportunity.
On average, yeah.
Yeah, because on average, because imagine, I'm not saying that's what I would choose. Like, we all
No,
know
of
how I get.
course.
Like, I think everybody knows me for the most part. I'm choosing my homie because I have a bond with them. I don't have a bond with what potentially can happen.
Yeah, like what De Jure said this person could be your soulmate, but imagine that's a low chance compared to this friend is forever. Facts. You're right. This friend is forever.
You know, and I think this affects men more than it affects girls. And the reason why I say that, because I think like we all, especially I think when it comes to Lewis and Ben and myself, like we known times where we needed our boys and they, you know, chose the girl over us. You know what I'm saying? It's a sucky feeling. It's a sucky feeling. Have you ever had that happen to you where like your homegirl chose a boy over you?
Probably in high school, you know, but you can't really count that because, you know, we're still teens and our brains aren't developed and, you know, but in adulthood, not really. You know, I mean, I've had some of my friends choose like, you know, their mans because, you know, but not because like I know that if I'm in a very difficult situation, if I hit up one of my homegirls, like she'll be there for me.
If they said soulmate, I would flip. I would try to chase the moment, Chad. Hey man, and that's the thing, man. That everything comes down to choices in life, man. Like real shit. Like everything. It's like when you have that one friend where, and I think I can speak for the men on this one. We all have that one homeboy that will purposely sabotage just to chill with that one girl. Like they could be the one who sets everything up and they'll bail.
That's the thing with men though, because it's like when you said, you know, we had that one homie that kind of like bailed on us for like a girl. Yeah. But then it's like, I mean, it makes sense because like some men, if given the opportunity for, you know, for women, whatever the occasion is, they're gonna like choose it. Yep. But honestly, okay, but guys, if you are given like this this scenario in your real life, just know, and I live by this.
Oh shit, G code.
If this person, you know, I'm gonna make a generalization for men and women. If this person wanted to, they would. If they wanted to, they will. And if you are put in a very tough situation, you know, you're choosing your values, you're choosing your best friend, your friend is forever, and this person doesn't understand, then this person is not for you. Because what happens in the long run, like you know, I think Jason has mentioned this in some sort of way multiple times. You know, a person shows their true colors. You just have to pay attention early on enough to see it. So that's why, like, I wouldn't, if I don't know the person, I'm not gonna choose them, because I know that logically speaking, like, this is a high that I'm chasing, like it's my
it's
crush.
for the moment. It's not
for the moment.
Yeah.
I really have to think about it, because it's like, damn, this friend, you know, it's been there for me. We've been through a lot of times. Like, I'm not gonna just bail on them.
Facts. Loyalty, respect, honor, integrity. What about you, Ben? Can you hear us?
Yeah.
What do you think about that, man?
I have no idea what we were talking about.
Okay, because
I was on a phone call.
Oh, it's okay. We transitioned from the "Am I the asshole" story, and Jason had asked a question. Oh, he about, like, if you were given. How about you ask it? Because you.
So if you were in a situation, right, where you have a girl that you've been talking to for months, man, and you've been cooking this up, and the opportunity presented herself, she's like, yo, I'm home alone. Let's finally, you know, kick it and vibe. And then the text message behind that is your boy like, yo, I'm going through some shit right now. I really need a friend. What choice are you making?
I'm gonna go to the homeboy. That's a dumb question that you just asked me.
Well, the reason why I bring it, because how many, and I was saying, like, Lewis concurred and I agreed, and Nate basically could see how many dudes have been given that situation and they chose the girl. Because a lot of guys will be like, yo, nah, I'm choosing my boy, and realistically they'll choose the girl over the boy. Like, let's keep it 100.
I would say this. I could only see it happening where you choose the girl over the boy is like, if your boy has like a history of like doing this kind of stuff and it just goes nowhere, right?
I still would choose my boy, though.
Huh?
I still would choose to go see my boy.
I'm not saying that that's what I would do. I'm saying it, right? That's the only way that I could see it.
Oh, okay.
Right. And if he has a history, and every time that you've gone to him in his time of quote unquote need, it's always been for something innocuous, right? Something that like wasn't like life or death or anything like that, or didn't warrant having to abandon him. And I have another phone call. Hold up.
All right. So we're gonna get back on that.
Yeah.
So now let's go into another topic. We all know the artist Sierra. You know who Sierra is?
Sierra.
Yeah, her.
And then.
So
yeah.
Apparently she's getting a lot of backlash from her latest song, where it's pretty much motivating women to say they don't need a man.
Okay, why is she getting backlash? Sorry,
because of her lifestyle. So, mind you, this is a woman who in my opinion, victimized herself by getting with a dude like Future. You end up basically getting dogged out, you got kids, and now you get with Russell Wilson. Why are you advocating women to live a lifestyle that you don't live?
Oh,
you get what I'm saying? It's like you're telling these women they don't need a man, but you yourself, you don't live that. You got a man at home.
Yeah.
You have responsibilities as a wifey. So why are you setting other people up to fail? And she's now getting backlash. But here's what's crazy. Beyonce's culprit number one of doing that shit. How do make that make sense? It's like, yo, this is why, like, a lot of dudes in hip hop, if you know why I'm so critical about like most new artists, because they want to see you get fucked up. They're not living that life. Because the ones who are living that life, guess where they are? In jail, dropping the soap every day, or in the grave, you know? But it's like, dude, like, wake up. This woman, grown woman, not young, literally is setting women up for failure with that anthem. Because my theory is, and I'm going to be honest, I think it's all tactical. Misery makes you the most money. When you're miserable, you spend more than you should. And who's miserable? The single ladies. They're the ones buying the makeup. They're the ones doing the cosmetic. They're the ones not at peace. And the men, the men who are freaking miserable, guess what? They're the ones buying a car they can't afford while they live in a fucking efficiency. You get what I'm saying? So it's not just women, it's men. But it's crazy how people will be in denial about that. What you listen to, it basically becomes your reality. So you as a woman, how do you look at Sierra knowing that she is in a relationship? She has wifey duties. On Instagram, she's shown how she makes a good wife and how she basically takes care of her husband. But on the mic, she's talking about a fictitious life. Don't you feel like that you're wrong for misleading? Like, how does that make you feel as a woman?
That is a publicity stunt. Like, I believe that 100%. I like nothing in this world could be a coincidence.
Deja,
you know what I mean?
She's trying to play the new age city girl shit. And then he also says she's telling women to do something she's never done. Facts.
Yeah. But you know what? It doesn't make sense. And because it doesn't make sense, that's how I know it's a publicity stunt. Because it's like when it comes to celebrities and they get backlash for it, you know, the saying like, oh,
the Kanye's.
What is it like? Oh, bad publicity is still like
bad publicity is still publicity.
Exactly. So you know what? But I know a lot of people don't think that way. A lot of people are susceptible to what the social media like feeds into like their feed. And you know, at the end of the day, that's still no excuse for celebrities and for just famous people in general to use their platform and, you know, say whatever it is that they want, even though now in this day and age, the consumers and like the whole audience is kind of they're very well knowledgeable in, oh, okay, this is just a PR stunt. This is just for publicity. Oh, they're just doing this to get more clout. Even though that's like, you know, out there, a lot of people are still very susceptible to whatever it is that celebrities put on social media. And that still doesn't make it right.
They're followers.
Exactly.
They're literal followers, man.
And that just I don't know, just in general, just giving the wrong perception of anything is just isn't right with me.
Publicity, selling music at the cost of the image. Straight facts. Straight fact. Like, okay. And I know I'm probably gonna get a lot of heat for this. But if you're a woman and you're going to the Beyonce concert that's coming up, I think you're an idiot.
Why?
And the reason I think you're an idiot is listen to her music. We're not even going to go on the demonic side. Let's just listen to the lyrics. All the single ladies. You're married to a billionaire, woman. Don't like the crazy thing is, especially in my community, I'm looking at these women's gear up for this concert. Number one, they can't afford it. They're putting their relationships in hot water just in order to go there. If they took the same might and integrity that it took for them to get those tickets, to make arrangements to go there into their relationship, their lives will dramatically change for the better.
Right. But
and the excuse is, oh, but you only live once and we got to live for the moment and it's once in a lifetime. The person you got is once in a lifetime if it's real.
True.
So why jeopardize? And again, listen, if you want to have fun, do what you do. But let's be 100. If you're jeopardizing what you have worked so hard for somebody who doesn't even know you exist, I question you as a person, bro. It's like, okay, you love Bad Bunny.
I love Bad Bunny.
Are you going to jeopardize your relationships to go see this nigga?
No.
Look me in the face.
Okay.
Without smiling. Hold on, guys. We're going to get us on the white shot here. I need her to look at me without smiling, without smirking, with a dead ass serious face and tell me, Logic, I would not jeopardize my relationship to see this man.
Logic, I would not jeopardize my relationship to see this man.
Why are you smiling? Oh my God.
I wouldn't, you guys. I wouldn't. My boyfriend knows that. He knows I wouldn't.
But how many women do?
No, I know.
But you see, like, and that's the thing. It's like, it's sabotage. It's like self-sabotage. Yeah. Yo, Deja's like, she's watching that more the day she can. Cat.
No, okay, hold on.
Oh, they coming for you, love.
Oh
they
my
coming.
God. But let me tell you, let me tell you guys something, because Jason has, like, okay, being friends with Jason and talking to Jason has definitely taught me a thing or two, and it's never meet your heroes. Even though I love Bad Bunny, right now I don't like him with this whole Kendall Jenner scam. Like, no.
Oh, you Italian for real? You just spit
for the moment being. That's a no. But
never meet your heroes.
Never meet your heroes, because I thought about it. I'm like, okay, let's say I do meet Bad Bunny one day and it doesn't go the way I expected and it just goes wrong. I'm gonna be very disappointed. So I would rather like just, have my ideals about him, everything that he's like stood up for, and his music, and I just want to be a fan.
Ooh, Ray goes, you sube. You sube.
First of all, you need to check your grammar before you type, babe.
Oh, she says you better relax. You gotta relax. Take a pep
But yes,
smear.
I'm sure because like after, I'm sorry, I kind of want to go off on a small tangent.
Do it. Do it.
I see Lewis just playing with his microphone little cable thing, and it really looks like he's doing. It looks like he's jacking off. I'm sorry, guys.
Oh my god.
It was distracting me. I'm looking at the camera and I'm being distracted.
Why is that even
And my
coming to your
peripheral.
mind?
Dude, Jason, you can't see him because he has his back to you. This is all I see. That's all. Yeah, that's what he was doing. That's all I see.
Oh shit.
And my peripheral, I'm like, oh my god, what is going on?
Okay, I see your point. Good point. Good point.
Anyways, but yes, I thought about what you said. Don't meet your heroes.
No, because here's the
Because
thing.
I honestly I don't want to feel that way. I've been on TikTok and the internet, and I've heard stories on TikTok about people meeting like their idols or like
And
celebrities
it
they love,
messes them
and
up.
it doesn't go the way that they expected. Because I mean, come on, like we assume something of this celebrity, and then it just doesn't go the way because it's not who they are.
If I may, right? And just a quick story time. I've been around a lot of famous individuals, especially when I was a teenager, me working for Crazy Hood and being part of the promotion team. And I remember I used to have a huge fascination with Fabulous, the rapper. And it was when his Dream Chasers album came out and he was there. And I was like, holy shit, I'm like 16 years old. I'm like, oh shit, it's Fabulous, you know? And I'm promoting his album. So I'm like, oh, this is perfect, you know? He had two gorgeous chicks next to him, like two bad. I'm talking about get him pregnant on purpose, you're sucking toes type women. I'm like, yo, take a picture with your, with your album. He's like, nah. I'm like, yo, what's wrong with you, bro? Like, it's your album. This is in front of Wet Willie's on the beach. He stuck his bodyguards on me. I'm 16.
Oh my god.
So, like, I have these two humongous black dudes roll up on me, and they're like, yeah, you got to leave. I'm like, bro, we're on the sidewalk. I ain't going nowhere. Oh, yeah, you got to leave or I'll make you leave. I'm like, do you know whose city you're in? Do you know, like, bro, stop the cap. And it boggled my mind how I went from looking at this person as, yo, this is a dope rapper. He's one of the, you couldn't even tell me that yourself. You suck your bodyguards on a freaking teenager, bro. And it's really sad. Do not meet your heroes because it's like, great. It doesn't take away that he's talented and yeah, he could spit bars for days, but
because of
my interaction,
traumatic experience, it changes your perception on his music.
The same thing happened with The Rock. Everyone loves The Rock. Not me. I met him when I was in middle school.
For real?
He's a grade A asshole, pendejo.
For real?
Pendejo.
No way.
Yo, it's so disappointing to a point where I was like, damn, dog. Because you remember, you're in middle school, wrestling is highlight. He's The Rock. He had SmackDown at the time. And I'll never forget, we go there. I'm like, yo, can you sign this? He's like, no. Like, with an attitude. Wow. And mind you, I'm not the only kid asking. There's a whole bunch of us. If it wasn't for some kid's hot mom, he wouldn't have signed shit. But it even got worse because he signs the kids' folder, the one with the hot mom. Nice, polite, takes a picture with him. And back in the day, they had like a flip phone. So the phone, it didn't even matter. But when it came to us getting the autograph, he literally scribbled. And it was like, yo, he didn't care. And it discouraged me. Wow. Because it was like, yo, and this is the thing. Truly, never meet your heroes because it will mess you up. Yeah. You're talking about, I went from, can you smell what The Rock is cooking to, do you like pie? Like it changes you and it's so disappointing. So like for y'all celebrities out there, especially you new ones, understand, bro, be humble. Be humble. Because, yo, you could do some damage. Some people take that shit and it really changes them for the worst, of course. Man. So like
I can only imagine because like, I mean, I don't know what it's like to be famous. But to have a bunch of people who idolize you and want the same attention, want an autograph, I can see how like, you know, overwhelming it can be to that celebrity, but it still sucks because for the fan like you, Jason, who has to experience that, you know, you idolize the celebrity and they kind of just shit on your dreams. And it's like, and it's a sucky situation for both parties because it's like, okay, I understand that it's overwhelming for the celebrity, but now you just kind of crushed your fans who's a
Yeah.
kid, you crushed his
Like Ray
dreams.
even said it. The Rock was known for being an asshole back in the day. And granted, you don't have to, but you're talking about kids, bro. You know what I'm saying? I can understand if it's a grown man your age being a fanboy, but for the kids with Fab, I was a teenager. So I think it's like the same thing. I don't know how it is for women. Like, what are some of the female artists that you look up to?
Oh, female artists.
And you can't say Selena because, you know, I know you're Mexican and whatnot.
Oh my god.
May she rest in peace.
Yeah, may she rest in peace, you guys. Damn, I'm gonna have to think about that.
You don't have any female, like, I don't want to say idols, but you don't have any like female artists that you actually look up to? Jennifer Lopez,
no,
Nicki Minaj,
no,
Cardi B.
no.
Oh, I ain't gonna front. It's a relief that you don't.
No,
With the caliber of women I just said, the fact that you say, you know, that's a solid win for me. Good shit.
Not
Good
really.
Shit.
I mean, I like, don't get me wrong. I can definitely understand, your upbringing, you got to do what you got to do. Everybody does things in their life their own way, how they want to be successful. I appreciate the hustle. But as far as looking up, I mean, like
knowing that, Bad Bunny.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
The group knows
they know me.
Our subscribers know you well. They know you love Bad Bunny.
I do love Bad Bunny, you guys. But I like him obviously because of his music. He definitely loves his people so much. He
Does he?
Is yeah.
Oh, hold on. Okay. Chad says Adele. What about Adele?
To be very honest, I do like Adele's music, but I don't follow her to know like, because I know celebrities, they I think like Ashton Kutcher, he has his own like little side hustle. A lot of celebrities have their side hustles. I don't keep up with it. So as far as Adele, I only know her by like her music.
What about Sade?
I don't really, but like I was gonna make the point, I don't keep up with celebrities like that.
Do you know who Sade is?
No. I'm sorry. I don't.
This is no ordinary love. No?
Keep going.
Hold on. All right, guys. I'm gonna play it on speaker for y'all.
Yeah, please.
Sade is like, oh my God.
But yeah, I don't really keep up with celebrities' lives like that. I mean, I guess you can say except Bad Bunny, but
we don't want to get
copyrighted, canceled. Yeah.
Right. That's enough. We don't want to get copywritten.
Sorry,
over
YouTube.
Here. I'll be real with you, cuz I don't know who Alanis is.
Sorry, me either. I mean, I probably heard her name, like heard it once or twice. But but yeah, like
what about actresses? Any actresses that you be looking at like, yo, she's dope. I can honestly see like me wanting to do what she does. Like Marvel, maybe Black Widow. What's her name? Scarlett Johansson.
What does she do besides actressing?
Like,
I don't know. I mean, okay, I think one that comes at the top of my head, what I do.
Do you look at male role models more than you do women, or you just don't?
In general, I just don't. It just Bad Bunny because, I've been listening to him since 2016, 2017 when he first started popping off.
Which is how many days and how many minutes and how many seconds?
I don't know. I'm not that obsessed. But there's one celebrity in general that I guess I appreciate, and that's Billie Eilish. Because more younger.
Really?
Okay, hear me out. So a lot of younger celebrities, for example, like Billie Eilish, who are getting into like the music industry, nowadays, it's a lot of like information coming out on how the music industry is, and it could be cutthroat. That's the game. And so Billie Eilish has definitely gone on like a lot of interviews, and her process with making music and how much she values her relationship with her brother, making the music, and also like her mental health struggles, the way that she dresses, you know,
the exposure and the fact she's comfortable with herself.
Exactly, because Billie Eilish, if some of you don't know, she does have like larger breasts, but
we call them tiggle bitties.
Tiggle bitties, yes. And so once she turned 18, as soon as she turned 18, you know, everybody like as soon as a picture would come out of like even the slightest cleavage, it would show. And she did not want that at all. And I do appreciate that. Like, you know, Billie Eilish is definitely someone who is a dope person from what I've seen in her interviews. And
she looks like the homie.
She looks like the homie. She doesn't want to be sexualized in that way. You know, you can tell by the way that she carries her interviews, she dresses, because she knows.
Yeah.
And that's something that I do appreciate. But in general, I try not to idolize celebrities.
Is like heavy. You know, we
call them exactly. And she didn't want that.
And what did you say last time? There's tetas and there's
tetotas.
Tetotas. Oh man.
What was it? A celebrity I do like, Tokisha. I think she's very like sexy.
Hold on.
Her music is very.
Ray says she killed X. What do you mean? What do you mean she killed X? Like extension? I can't. The boy who was unfortunately murdered.
XXXTentacion?
Yeah. She killed him?
Didn't Drake?
I thought Drake killed him.
I thought it was Drake. How can you see? I can't see his comments.
Hold on, I'm pulling it up right now. Do you see it now?
Hold up.
She killed X.
YouTube is a little laggy.
I thought that was Drake. They even subpoenaed.
What? No way. For real? I thought you said it was Drake. Now you're saying it was Billie Eilish. I don't know.
I said it was. I think Drake had some type of involvement or an influence.
Tentacion.
Yo, what's up, homie? I got my boy Brian up in the chat. What's cracking, cuz? You know what I'm saying? How you doing? Oh, yeah. So it is, yeah. XXXTentacion.
XXXTentacion.
See your own. I mean, here's the truth. If we're going to get into that topic, man, like, when you talk about, bro, I'm not a fan of him. I can't say I was a fan. But he was a kid, man.
He was a kid.
He wasn't spitting. And a lot of people were basically trying to comfort him because I did see the video where his ex is there and he just slugged the shit out of her. But also, I'm not condoning hitting a woman in any way, shape, or form. But at some point, we make mistakes. We all have made mistakes. And this is a young kid who was figuring out his life. I'm not condoning it, but if you say that was enough evidence that he deserved to what he got, you're a piece of shit. All right. This kid had talent. Even though it wasn't for me.
Right.
But you got to give respect when it's due. And as a real man staying before, the man had his audience. He had quality.
I didn't listen to his music until after he, passed away. But the music that I did listen to, they were hits.
So since we're on the topic of artists, right? I want to hear your input. You know about Chrisean Rock and Blueface, right?
Yes.
Okay. Chris Brown was 17 when he basically caught that domestic charge with Rihanna.
Oh my
17 years old. Do you find it hypocritical that here you got Chris Brown who was castrated and crucified, but yet we encourage the behavior with Blueface and Chrisean Rock? When I say encourage, how come? Where's the outrage?
Okay, so two things I want to say about this. So Chris Brown did publicly speak about stating that it was hypocritical. Like, how do you guys see this as entertainment when I did it when I was 17, I was a child, it was like outrageous, whatever. And so, okay, I definitely understand his point of view when he said that, but somebody did pull up some receipts that it wasn't only when he was 17 when he caught the domestic violence charge.
Okay.
I think back in 2018, he also was violent with one of his partners.
Oh yeah, that's right. He ended up having a warrant for his arrest.
Yeah, so in this case, it's okay, so if that's true, and just a few years ago you were also violent, but it's not hypocritical because violence should never be okay.
But hypocritical to the point, why aren't they
outraging
with Blueface versus Chris Brown?
Right.
Why is it that it's yo, let's be real. We seen it on the podcast. dudes laugh at that shit,
dude. And honestly,
she's a problem herself. Like, I'm sorry, it takes two to tango, but here you're crucifying one. Everybody should be getting the same energy. I just find out it's crazy that what makes it acceptable to society, how come they're not canceled? You get what I'm saying? Like, how come they still have a platform with that behavior, but you try to take this man's Grammys away? You try to literally destroy this man for the same shit. But the only difference is, and not defending Chris Brown, but in his case, his shit was honestly on some intimate shit. The Blueface and Christine Rock, that's on some entertainment shit. Like, they're doing it for clout, clearly.
And that, I believe, it's at fault for, like, you know, whoever's in charge of, like, the PR and, like, the marketing on it and their whole producing team. Like, it's not just them, it's the people supporting them and putting them on air. Like,
but how does that make you feel as a woman? Like, when you see someone like Christine Rock, right? This is a woman who's admitted, like, yeah, I killed 3. Like,
3 people?
3 abortions.
Oh.
And you get what I'm saying? Like,
sorry.
Dude, like, well, technically there are people, you know, to be respectful. Let's call a spade. But you as a woman being in that age group, in that age bracket from that generation, how does that make you feel? Like, how do you visually see that? Does it disturb you? Like, what do you think is truly wrong with that picture in your opinion?
Okay. You know, when it comes to abortions, that's definitely, can I even say that word? There's not a lot of words I can say. Yeah, okay. So when it comes to that, I know it's a very controversial and touchy subject. I'm a very I don't give a fuck person kind of attitude. I mind my business. I don't care what it is that you do with your life. You know, that goes without saying. You know, she can say that she's, you know, what was it, killed 3 that you said?
Yeah. With no remorse.
With no remorse. I personally don't care. As a matter of fact, I believe that, you know, if you definitely don't want kids, then you shouldn't have them, because it's like, if you know you wouldn't be a good parent, you should not be having kids.
Deja says the whole relationship is terrible.
It is terrible, because you should not be bringing kids into this world knowing that you're going to be a shitty ass parent and then putting them through the foster system. The foster system is not that great, you guys.
It's never been great, to be honest.
So I'm actually really happy at the fact that she kind of is admitting to that.
But now she's pregnant.
Because she is, oh my goodness, you know,
because it is?
Because Deja said that the relationship is terrible, like, it's, you know, but on the other side, her stating that could definitely cause more of an upheaval than it's already causing, because that subject alone is already very touchy. But honestly, just witnessing that kind of entertainment on social media, it's just, I saw it on my TikTok and I just scrolled past it. I'm like, this is definitely something I don't want to waste my time on. Like, it is toxic.
Because then it's like, yo, I seen, like, and I'm gonna be real with you, I don't know if this girl is mentally challenged. Like, real shit. Like, I think she's mentally challenged, because, bro, I be seeing some of these clips. She throws a tantrum like a child, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think, like, how old is she? Is she around, like, my age? You know?
Yeah, she's.
Do you think she's I think the term is developmentally stunted, or I don't know. I personally have never watched the shows or what their clips.
I've never seen a show.
I've never seen it either.
I only seen clips like on TikTok.
I haven't even seen clips. I definitely do not want to waste my time on those types of clips. I don't care for it. But based on what you're telling me, you know, when you're exposed to such a toxic environment again and again, and that's your trauma response. That's all you know.
Deja says, to be honest, she could be. It is all the drugs, because she was a D1 athlete, bro. Like, she was a D1 athlete. God. This chick was a monster on the field.
What did she play?
She played football. She was in a show where she finished, and it was like American Gladiators, but, like, I guess up to date.
Wow.
And she's a freaking ox. The girl almost deadlifted 300 pounds, 315 pounds without even really trying.
So you'd say her relationship with Blueface has definitely made her life a lot more shittier?
Yeah, because don't get me wrong, she comes from trauma.
Okay.
But also, Blueface comes from trauma. They both come from trauma. It's just like, yo, unfortunately, somebody's gonna end up dead.
Is that who I think it is?
Who?
Marco Vitali.
Marco Vitali. She could still deadlift 300. Facts. Like she could do some damage. And the thing is, it's like everyone's like, oh, Blueface is the problem. Now she's the problem. And it really shows how toxic,
right?
Like the culture, like, bro, back in the day, ain't nobody want to be around that shit.
Is it DeAndre?
DeAndre.
Is it?
DeAndre, is that you, cuz?
Just say yes. I just want to know. Anyways, yeah.
So, like, even if I break it down, right? Like, let's take it to a further degree. We know what's entertainment. We all know that, but at some point it has to stop. Like, I saw a clip, and when you see shit and you be like, okay, that's enough internet for the day.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, it's DeAndre. How are you, bro? I miss you. It's been a minute.
Okay. She's like, I miss you. Where you been? Where have you been? Where have you been all my life?
I'm sorry. I forgot.
Okay. Oh, yeah, you put his government out there.
I didn't put his full name out there, though. I'm sorry. I forget. So, but I just like when you go by logic,
Yeah, you always call me about my government, but it's okay.
Because I guys, the friends that I have, we all go by our government names.
Do we? Because I always call you Nate.
I mean, that's a podcast. Like, okay.
So I don't call you Nate outside of here.
No, you do. No, I mean, like when you, Ben, or Lewis, when you guys call me Nate, I don't think of it. I respond yes, because you guys
I gave you that nickname.
I think you did give me that nickname.
I gave you that nickname.
When we actually went to Duffy's that one time, and I was waiting for the table, and it was like your friends from like work. It was Tati and it was
Christina.
Sorry, it was Christina. They were like, "Oh my God, it's Nate," and I felt kind of weird because I'm like, "Oh, who just called me that?" And it felt weird because no one calls me Nate but you guys. Right. So if I'm in public and someone that I don't know calls me Nate, I probably won't respond out of habit. If you call me Nat, I will respond, or Natalie. But Nate, I will only respond.
Reaching people. Yeah. That means we're reaching people, girl. That means we, again, if this is your first time checking in, hit that subscribe button. We appreciate the love. That means we're making an impact on y'all. Hopefully a good one. Yeah.
Also, I'm so sorry I put your name out there, Marco. Never again. I learned my lesson.
See? That's something we don't even hear. I learned my lesson.
Yeah.
Something that we don't hear from modern women.
But I gotta take accountability.
What?
That's my
Oh my God.
What do you mean?
Oh my God. Oh my God. The kryptonite. She say it again. That is that's a turn on. Say it again, love. Say it again.
I gotta take accountability.
Woo! Say it again. Say it again.
Stop.
Say it again.
You even look at Lewis's face. So disturbing. If there's something that I definitely lived through my childhood is saying the wrong things at the wrong time and getting blamed for them, and I definitely don't like that feeling. So in my adulthood now, if
Deja's like, that's almost disgusting how submissive she sounds. She's not being submissive, she's being responsible.
I see. I mean, yeah.
I wasn't rubbing my nipples, bro. I was caressing my chest.
Yeah, you're just doing this. But yeah, so in my
yo, Jason, relax, gang. You speaking for you right. You gotta understand, bro. At 36, you don't hear women say, I gotta take accountability nowadays.
I mean, that's just how I am, by the way. Like when I'm like, when I repeat things and I'm like, oh, this and that. Like I'm a very anxious person, shy person. So
it's okay to say it.
That's my trauma response. It'll come out. So when you're like, say it again. Oh, I said it like this. Like it's just how I am. I'm just, very awkward.
Right.
But yeah, so in my adulthood, I try to be very careful with what I say, and if I happen to say the wrong thing, I will apologize for it and take accountability.
Deja, man, I hold it down, man. I got in my feels, yo. But on some other note, speaking of accountability, right?
Yes.
When it came to that clip I saw, so transgender community, they had like a reality show.
Yeah.
Would you see, bro, we're so jacked up, and it's like, even for me to explain, I've seen some shit, but it's crazy because it's a transgender on the show.
Okay.
And she she or he's fighting,
Oh,
and their nipples come out,
okay,
and they blur it out.
But
it's
you
a
mean like
guy.
the shirt?
Yeah, like the breasts are shown, but it's a guy, and then they're whomping on a girl. So the transgender's beating on a girl, and I'm like, how is this legal? Like, how come the transgender's beating on the girl?
Is it like a girl transgender, guy transgender?
Was a guy, now is a girl.
Okay.
Beating the brakes off this girl.
Is she fully transitioned, or is she still in the transition
still,
process?
like
no, I just
no, I get what you're saying. I
just want to know the details behind the story.
It's one of those reality shows, like those people who were like into Vine and they became celebrities and they put them all in a house. It's like Real World, but for crack users.
And she just so happened to like take her shirt off, and
it got ripped down, and it was, and I'm like, bro, it's almost like a circus show, and then it's like. Man.
So basically, you witness just for clarification for the audience. Basically, you witnessed this reality show clip, and it was a fight brewing around, and this transgender woman was a guy, now was a girl. Just for detail purposes, her top comes off during the fight, and they censor her nipples.
Yeah,
and so I guess you're kind of just wondering, like, why? I mean, I think there were
it's not that I want to see it. It's just like,
but think of this as like. From like a business and a very the industry standpoint, if they didn't censor it, there would be an uproar of like, oh my god, like her tits are out.
But how come there's not an uproar when she beat the crap out of this girl?
What do you mean?
Like there shouldn't there?
But were there sexual parts revealed? Because like when there's a fight in general,
but
I've seen fights on TV. They don't censor it. They kind of.
Well, I'm not so much focused on the censoring. I'm just saying like the fact that it's a man beating on a woman, but because the man identifies as a woman, there's no punishment.
Oh, they're not stopping it.
Yeah, like if I'm on a reality show and I put my hands on a woman, they would stop me the moment like that.
Right, I got you.
But they're allowing this individual who is a man to beat on this woman. And I'm like, dude, like, how is that even possible? Like, how is this person not in handcuffs? You get what I'm saying? Like, that's what disturbed me. I'm like, oh my God, they're letting this person well on this girl. And
that's at fault for like the whole production team, because like just because it's like it could be, bad publicity is still publicity, some clout entertainment, that's still wrong. Like,
I get that, man. It's just, wow. It's so Dejar said it right, because she identifies as a woman. How do you go about that? Like, how come
violence is never acceptable? That's how I go by it.
I agree.
I don't care if you're a man beating on a man, a woman beating on a woman. Like, I understand, rage can,
knowing Dejar said, knowing damn well women, because she lit her ass up. Like, it was almost like it looked like a death punishment, like a death sentence, because want ham on that girl.
Yeah, like even when it's like, gender against gender, violence is still never okay. I understand when you're upset, you're heated, you want to fight because you're like, I get it, trust me. But in general, violence is not okay. Like, you breaking up in a fight, and especially beating on women, that's less okay. That is not right as well.
So, Luis Vega, how do you feel about trans women competing in sports? You as a woman, right? How do you feel? Do you feel that it's acceptable? Because in my opinion, and I don't care if I piss off the trans community saying this, give them their own bracket. In wrestling, we have weight class. You get what I'm saying? You have JV, you have varsity. You want to basically identify as what you want? I'm cool with that. You have your life. It is your right. You can live your life the way you want. But I do have a problem when you are competing in a league. I mean, what happens if dudes from the NBA want to say, I want to identify as a woman, I'm going to play in the WNBA? What happened? You get what I'm saying? Like,
Dejar said, no, that's crazy. The trans class.
But that's literally, because think about it. Look at the swimmer. Right. And I think we talked about it last time. 435th place In the men's league, 435th place in the United States, ranked 435th place. When they go into the women's side, number 1. Do you know how many girls lost out on scholarships? How many girls worked out so hard, who busted their ass to earn that position?
Mm-hmm.
And that, like, dude, you can't tell me that's acceptable.
Right.
And again, if you want to get mad at me for saying this, so be it. I got a niece. You out your damn mind if you think I'm going to be okay with her competing against a male.
Mm-hmm.
It don't matter what you want to identify. Make a league for their own.
Yeah.
Like, look at the UFC, the transgender fighter, right? Crack, out of the fights that he has been in, even though he identifies as a woman and he took the chemicals to lower and boost his estrogen and take away the, he's cracked and fractured 2 female skulls, crushing one of their orbital sockets. How is that acceptable? Like, at what point? I get, and I get, we gotta
like picturing that.
Understand, and we gotta be supportive. All right, call a spade, bro. I don't care if you're offended by what I'm saying. Then educate me on why I'm wrong. But there's no way you're gonna convince me and tell me that it's appropriate for a male to compete with women. It doesn't work.
So, Ben, can you hear us?
You're muted, homie.
Or like, do you have a minute?
Hello.
I don't think he does. That's okay. Well,
Yo, just hopping in for a quick second.
yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello, did you just put in another pair of headphones?
Yeah, I got 2 headphones on.
Nice.
I got 2
So
phones.
in regards to like the trans athlete thing, I think if I heard correctly, and Jason's just expressing his disagreements with that, all I can say, bro, is that, you know, they did it to themselves. You know, I'm not saying that all women or anything like that, but they're the really vocal ones, right? The progressives and the people that, you know, and there's nothing wrong with wanting equal opportunity for all, but there's a reason, you know, there's a reason why genetics exist. You know, there are some things that both sexes cannot compete with each other, especially when it comes to like physical activity. So that aside, you know, because the nature, unfortunately, of, you know, of women for the most part is to be like agreeable, or to say the safe thing, or to be PC or accepting or whatever. They did it to themselves, bro. They didn't dig their feet in and go, no, we don't want men identifying as women to compete with us in these sports. Instead, they took on the approach of open love, you know, equal opportunity. You know, they deserve it, right? Yada yada. They did it to themselves, bro, and they're reaping. They are reaping what they sow.
Facts.
And now you got fucking grown ass 250-pound men beating on, because like you can't compare a 250-pound man to a 250-pound woman, even though they're the same weight. Like I don't know how to explain it, because I'm not a fucking geneticist or whatever, but there's a difference.
There's
between
common
like
sense.
muscle and fat. Like, yeah, honestly, a man can output more power even if they weigh the same.
Brother, I'm handicapped.
I'm tapping out.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm handicapped, right? I got an artificial femur. I got plates. I am one of those individuals who is basically, you know, I have a like, it'll be harder for me to do things.
Yeah.
You could honestly take the strongest woman you know and put her up against me, and she's gonna have a problem. That's how crazy that, even me being hindered, I still have an advantage just because of my mass and what I have naturally built into me. It's like the same thing. I saw a competition, and again, it's
literally simple biology, and
Facts.
People, for whatever reason, people are just denying it outright, and it's a slippery slope, and that's just what happens.
Facts. It's like the whole competition with the prom, I guess. The transgender.
You mean the trans that won the pageant or whatever?
Yeah, like that. I have a problem with that. And the reason I have a problem with that is, like, you're not even convincing. You're just a big quarterback who put on a wig, and you're getting it. And it's like, yo, at least be convincing. And that's the thing. That whole inclusion, that you're destroying the fabric.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Because what it does is pretty much it makes it a shit show.
Right.
And again, it's not to target. Again, you can live your life the way you want. You could be as free as you want. But let me ask you something. If you've seen those clips of like Thailand, the lady boys, they look like women.
Yeah.
They look like women. So if you told me one of those won the beauty pageant, I'll be like, okay, I can see it.
Because of the femininity.
The femininity is there.
Exactly. It's a beauty pageant, right? But because they're pushing the idea that, oh, you know, like inner beauty, there's beauty in everyone, yada yada. Like, I mean, I get it. Beauty pageants are archaic because they objectify women, right? That's fine.
Yeah.
But at least let them have that. If they're willingly putting themselves through it, let them fucking have it. The amount of effort that these women go through to look the way that they do, to get shown up by some portly fellow wearing a wig.
That's like eyeliner? Disrespectful, bro.
It's
you know
joke.
what I'm saying?
Right.
It makes it even more
it's
of a joke.
mockery.
So
man.
the way that I see it with specifically those pageants is like when it comes to, you know, pageants and events like those, there is a certain criteria that you need to meet. At least, you know, I'm assuming that there's a criteria that you have to meet to participate in said event and said pageant.
Yep.
So, you know, if it is it's the responsibility of the committee and the people running that event to, you know, make sure that everyone is adhering to the rules and the policies and all the criterias. If everyone meets that criteria, I mean,
Love, let me ask you
I don't know. That to me in my head, that it's just me organizing my thoughts and being like, okay, like it makes it easier for thought processing. But because we're living in an unprecedented time where people are finally able to freely choose, like, you know, to like be happy and get this gender reconfirming surgery, you know, this isn't something that we have history to look back on and to compare it to and to learn from. You know, this is all new. So of course there's going to be, you know, a lot of uproar with this, and it's going to take a lot of change and a lot of adjustments. You know, we're still trying to figure out like what's right, what's wrong, you know, because for the longest it's only been women, of course, but now we're introducing a new variable, a new factor, a transgender person, you know,
which is fine. You have to respect the lifestyle, right?
Of course.
But what happens when a pro lifter like the Mr. Olympia?
When it comes to that,
like what happens when they want to identify as a woman?
No, I agree with you guys.
It's like, yo, they're gonna destroy the competition.
Yeah,
because
I agree with you guys.
Like it's like, okay, you're a pro lifter, you do the Olympia as a male. The definition is muscle mass, right? So what's to stop one of those guys to say, yo, I'm gonna win this championship because now I'm gonna identify as a woman and kill it in the women's ranking?
Right.
Like where do we draw the line in the sand?
No, I get you.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why I say I'm not against how they live their lifestyle. What I'm against is call a spade a spade. And I just want to give shout outs to my boy Saga on that one because he's the reason why I even say that saying.
You should get that tattooed on you.
Call a spade a spade?
Yeah.
You just want me to get another tattoo. It's cool. That's gonna be in due time.
But I'm surprised you haven't gotten that tattooed yet because you say that all the time.
Well, I only say it because of him. I gotta give the respect.
No, but occasionally.
But
yeah, I agree with you guys because honestly,
but give them their own ranking. Again, we're not coming at the trans community. I believe you should live the way you want to live, but however, stay within your rank. You know what I'm saying? Go against what is your true challenge. It's not a challenge when you're going against a girl who's 130 pounds wet.
So,
like, come on.
Margot had made a good comment about the Olympia is a bad example. The MMA one is better. Because at least, I mean, I'm assuming in Olympia, you know, you go by class, you know, so even if you are like transgender, you know, be in the same weight class, be in the same people who are the same criteria as you, make it fair.
Because in the Olympia, the reason, sorry to cut you off, love, the reason why I say the Olympia is because it's about definition, right?
Oh, right.
Who's going to achieve that definition quicker, the male or the woman?
Right. I get you.
So,
because at least in MMA, that's crazy.
It is.
That is crazy.
It's chaos.
Bro.
It is chaos. And then, okay, let's just take it to, have you ever seen those sports where they show you a 12-year-old who looked like a grown-ass man? Have you ever seen that shit? Like, they'll be like, oh, he's 12 years old, but the dude is already 6 foot. and he competes against the Tykes. What do they naturally do? They put them up in a higher. They'll rank them up to compensate for their size, because there's no way you're gonna let a 12-year-old who is freaking 240 pounds, standing 6 foot, compete with the peewees.
Right.
They won't.
You see, so if they do it with that, why can't they just accommodate in other classes?
Exactly. Give them their own class. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying discriminate against them. I'm not saying kick them out. No, but give them their own class.
Right.
They deserve it. You know what I'm saying? Because think about it. If you put Mike Tyson against Mayweather, are you going to be entertained by that? You ready? Let's put in a Chihuahua against a damn freaking Corso. Like, you're going to see it's going to be blood, you know? And I think that's the disillusion that we have, where we think equality means fairness. No, the equality means everyone gets to compete, but the fairness, no. Life is not fair. We fight for equality. If you want fairness, go back to sleep, because that's only in a perfect world. Because if life was fair, there would be no wars. If life was fair, there wouldn't be no male versus female. If life was fair, we wouldn't have racism. If life was fair, there wouldn't be no fights on religion. Life is made to be unfair. What needs to be focused on is equality, seeing you as my equal. The feminist movement, right? Back in the day was about what? Equality, not fairness, but to be treated decent and be treated as a human being. Now that we get into that, what do you think of the feminist movement now? Truthfully speaking, raw, give it to me raw, love. What do you think of the feminist movement?
Okay, I'm going to be 100% honest. You know, I am one for, you know, I am one for equality, you know, but I'm also one for do whatever the hell you want. Like I had mentioned before, when
you say do whatever the hell you want, are you saying
if you are a woman and you want to be a girl boss, a woman boss, you want to be independent and be what it is that a man does, okay, you go do that if that makes you happy. If you want to be a traditional stay-at-home wife and like not work and just take care of the kids, okay, then you do that. You know, it's all about communication. Communicate that to your partner or you know, whoever. That's what I believe in. What I don't believe in is people a part of a specific movement basically forcing down their beliefs other people's throats. You know, like protesting, you can do that in this country. You can, you know, freedom of speech, you can
the right to express
the
yourself.
Right to express yourself. You know, if everybody doesn't believe it, then, you know, with a conversation and the movements such as, you know, the feminist movement, that could be a little more tricky given the whole history behind, you know, all women were, you know.
Oh, okay. So women being oppressed, do you feel that women are oppressed in this day and age? In this country,
here's
not
the
in
thing
the world.
With the modern feminist movement, all right? I'm
Perfect
gonna tell
timing.
you right now.
For real, this boy has been waiting for this.
I know.
But bro, and you know,
he's smiling.
Subject.
He's smiling. He's like, yeah,
this is my subject. I want to talk about this.
Let me hold up. Hold up. Wait a minute.
Hold up.
If you feel that you are a feminist, then what I am going to say might offend you to your very core.
Of course.
Feminism has already completed its goal of equality.
Okay.
If anything, modern feminism is now going for the egalitarian approach. Egalitarian, is that the right word? Give me 1 second.
We love fact checking in this place. We want to make sure we get our
relating
words correctly.
to or believing that the principle that all people are equal and deserve equal rights and opportunities. Okay, so
yes,
they've already gotten the egalitarian approach, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
In the modern era, at least in the Western world, women have just as much, if not more, like rights or privileges.
Privileges is a better choice of words.
You know, privileges is the more specific word, because we're all human, right? We all have our basic human rights, right?
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day, they were fighting for like women's suffrages in the fucking 20s or whatever.
Yeah, not being able to vote, not being able to, yeah,
all that shit, right? And you got that. You can vote. There's nothing holding a woman back from literally landing any job that she wants, besides fucking becoming a professional sperm donor. All right, and even then, women can still do it.
Oh God, not even. Let's not open that Pandora's box real quick.
Let's not even get into that, right?
Yeah. No,
So
I agree with you 100%.
Yeah,
I
there's
agree with
nothing
you.
holding a woman back from getting whatever position of power or whatever that she wants, right?
But it
Because
also
even
comes down
though-
to their choices that they make for themselves.
No, exactly. Because you got these women, and these are the vocal ones saying that,
Mhm.
oh, you got to be a boss babe, you can have it all, yada yada, and it's
Cool.
starting to gain more traction against the average women. But
Yeah.
still, the average woman doesn't really care about that shit. But it's becoming more popular now as it's entering their collective consciousness, becoming the boss babe, becoming Miss Independent, all that stuff, right? And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You know, there's nothing wrong with that, because if you want to work for what you got, it's America, baby. Do it.
Facts.
Right? But you can't get on somebody if they don't care about that, right? Like
It's like you can't force religion on people.
Exactly. Like there are men who don't care about what degree that you have. They don't care about how much money you're making.
Hells
Because
no.
a dude with money, he'll walk into McDonald's, see someone that he finds attractive, he'll
Wife
flip
it up.
her out of McDonald's, right?
Wife
Like
her
that
up.
one song with T.I., you can have whatever
Whatever
you
you
like.
want.
That chick was working at a fast food joint,
Yep.
and he gave her $100, yada yada, for what? For being pretty.
Pretty
you know?
privilege.
So yeah, exactly. So what I'm
Yeah.
saying is, women are setting the metric for success by comparing themselves to a man's metric for success, and men don't care about that in regards to women. Yeah, you'll have your men like, oh yeah, I want my girl to work. I think it'd be, because like they're thinking about it from the frugal sense, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I think it'd be a good idea if both of us work, because that means more money coming in, yada yada. And right, that's fine.
But there's a
That is
saying that
valid,
goes
and that's
like that
fine.
that I used to say all the time. What is mine is hers, and what is hers is hers. That's the mind conditioning of Western civilization.
Yeah, I think I really think
No, but
it's...
I'll tell you what. I'll also say this, right? While that is also true, then you'll also get women that they either are really adamant about going 50-50, or they have no problem like paying for you, right? Like my girl, she has no problem paying for a thing.
Ben's wiped up, y'all. Let's put that
Eh.
out there. Ben just acknowledged that he's wiped up, y'all. Let's give a celebration. You see that smile on his
This is
face?
hard. This is hard.
That's the smile that we looking for.
This
That's
is
it.
hard right now.
This boy's in
Anyways,
love.
It's hard like this.
Even if I tell her, yo, if you take out your card, I'll fucking kill you dead. You fucking idiot. She'll still be like, no,
damn,
baby,
bro.
I don't care. I'll pay for it. I don't care.
Yeah.
And you know, like I'm strictly against that, because if I'm inviting you out to something,
I
I'm
take
paying for it,
responsibility.
right? Yeah, and she uses my own logic on me. She says, "Oh, babe, do you want to go somewhere?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "I'll pay for it." I'm like, "Don't do it." She's like, "No, I invited you."
Hold on, Ben. Hold on, Ben.
All right, yeah, okay.
I triggered Nate. I just triggered Nate.
Oh, wow.
Why did I trigger you?
Oh my god, because I'm remembering now that you guys have said that about like, oh, that you would take the initiative and you would like pay and stuff like that.
Because I'm taking responsibility. I asked you out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I just remembered this was obviously before my boyfriend and I started going out. I had went on a date with a guy that I met on Hinge,
Mhm.
and this was probably like a week and a half of us like talking. We go out and I end up paying for like the drinks. Which is completely fine. You know, you guys, I believe in equality. You know, I will pay for the drinks. I just mean that he's obviously the one who asked me out on the date.
Yeah.
So like, you know, I made
No, yeah,
sure
again.
when the bartender had like, you know, gave us the drinks and like
Uh-huh.
asked for the payment, I waited half a second. And for
'Cause that's
those
all
of
you
you
need, that's all
thinking
you need,
that's all
literally.
you really need. I am not lying to you, Jordan.
Bro, I'm saying,
I'm not lying. I wouldn't. Yeah.
If you invite the person out, you're paying. That's as simple as that.
That's real shit. Because here's why I say you got to take responsibility.
But it's
not
whatever.
about being a man. It's just being a decent human being.
Yeah.
I'm not
No, yeah.
going to basically ask. That's like me saying to my sister, "Hey, yo, you want to get something to eat?" I'm offering to pay
Yeah.
because I'm initiating the interaction and the experience.
Right? Like that meme that's like, oh, when you ask your homie if you want to get something, he's like, oh, I don't have any money. You're like, did I ask you that?
I got you.
Facts.
I just found
Yeah,
the moment
did I
to be
ask you if you
weird.
had
Is
money?
all.
But I think women don't like feeling vulnerable, which is why they're so defensive on it.
But
Because they don't want to be. Because here's the truth, yo, and let's call out the suckers. The suckers are the ones who ask women out to eat and think because they took them out to eat and entitles them to some shit. That's a sucker ass move.
And you see,
if you think taking out a woman entitles her to being sexual with you, you're rapey. You're weird as shit. We don't mess with you. You take somebody out because you're usually trying to get to know them or enjoy their company.
Right.
It's an interview.
But you know what? It's also because of that. You know, I have like had past experiences. You know, as a teenager, obviously we all make mistakes, and you know, my partner at the time kind of like hold up against all the nice things that he did for me. And I know he didn't mean it in a malicious way, bad intent. It was just more of like, you know, us in a fight, like, hey, like, you know, I'm great. This is all the good things that I did for you. And, you know, and it just, in that moment, it made me realize in situations like I'm the one who paid for the drinks, I'm completely fine with that, because at least that's one less thing that he has to hold over my head.
Facts. And
that's
I think
the way
that's what
that I
happens
see
to
it.
a lot of women. Some people use it against you. But on that note, we want to say,
let me just say,
hold on, Ben wants to get it last in.
I just want to say, hey, you guys, like, I don't mean to humble brag or nothing or whatever. You know, I'm on Instagram, Sir Daniel Ben.
He's in love.
You know, I just want to say, you might have seen this meme. You know, this is the meme.
Wait, hold up.
We can't see nothing.
Everything is blurred.
Everything is blurred.
I think it's
your camera is now 4K.
Whatever. So there is a meme on my page. You can check it out. That's one of the. I want to humble brag. That's one of the biggest. The one of the most popular videos on my page right now. It's 125,000 views.
Hold up, I got you.
Over 9. Okay. About to hit 10,000 likes.
Nate's about to pull it up for you real quick. Hey, I'm sorry, because if we're gonna do that, I gotta brag, because that video I put about friend zoning a dude got over 2,000 views already.
Is it attempting to make a not that one?
Not that one. Lower. Scroll lower.
This one?
That one. Yep.
All right, show it to the camera.
Oh my god. Okay, you guys.
Let me see.
To this one? Okay, to that one. Hold up. Scroll up, because that way the video will start when you scroll up.
All right.
Jason.
Oh, up.
That one.
This one?
No, the midget falling down. Up. That one.
The little person.
She thick.
Oh my god.
You don't discriminate, do you?
He caught you.
But on that note, we want to basically, make sure if this is your first time, you hit that subscribe button, We want to thank y'all for tuning in with us. As you know,
10,000 likes to just hit.
You feel me? 10,000.
Nice.
When you get to 60,000, holla at your boy. It's a competition, baby. I love you, dog. I love you. You know I gotta talk shit. But on that note, man, it's your gearhead, Mr. Logic himself, my lovely co-host
Nate. Also, I like to just comment, not the N-word. I'm so sorry. I should have said little people.
Oh, she hit the midget. Oh my god. Oh my god. You said the M-word.
You didn't notice?
No, because I'm not fucked up. I'm an asshole though.
Wait, but is that a bad thing to say?
No. They just need to stop being in their feelings.
Okay.
But on our outro, Ben, tell them who you is, cuz.
Man, I'm Sir Daniel Ben. You already know who it is. This is one thing's for sure.
Two things for certain. Let's go.
Let's go.
Yo, this was